instead of droning them like we've been doing for the warmongers have been doing, the Democrats and the Republicans have been, basically doing bad things, not only financially, but physically in the form of war to nations that basically should have been none of our business. That said, the nation states are here for a reason, and the purpose is that one can pull up another. Hopefully, that's the way things would work, but we know that our world doesn't always work the way we want it to work. And you know what else doesn't work the way we want it to work, Joe? Windmills. They don't work the way we want them to work. We want them to work just as well as coal and fossil fuel generation of power. So here's another one. There's an update here. Texas grid operator, ERCOT, by the way, takes emergency measures to avoid rolling blackouts as wind turbines fail to produce energy due to low winds. So, we're supposed to think that it might not be windy, Joe? Did you know that the wind doesn't always blow? Could you imagine the wind not cooperating with the greenies, right? I mean, don't they know everything? I mean, the sun, wait a minute. Doesn't the sun go down the sun goes down and the wind doesn't blow? What's going on, Joe? How are we supposed to go into this Green New Deal? How are we supposed to have reliable energy when the wind doesn't always cooperate and the sun goes down every day? Man. Well, wait a minute. Do you think they might not want us to have reliable energy sources? Do you think they might want us to be like third world nations where some days they have power and other days they don't? Gee, I wonder if that's their plan, Joe. So how about this? Why don't we get electric cars so that, wait a minute. Wait, we get electric cars and then we plug them in the wall and the wind isn't blowing so we can't charge our electric cars. I wonder how far we're going to go without charging our electric cars because the wind won't blow. Wow, maybe we should put sails on our car and then just let it wait. The wind doesn't always blow. Okay, we'll put solar panels on the top of the roof of the vehicle and then we can't drive at night. Wow, this is becoming problematic. Oh man, I wonder if they had this planned all along. Gee whiz. Okay, here's another one. This is sad, everybody. I know I don't want to be too negative, but we do have to point these things out, once in a while. So everybody knows that the January 6, 2020 is being played up very heavily by certain people, certain interested parties. So basically what they need to do is they need to criminalize Donald Trump so that he can't run again. So that instrument is in the hands of some really crazy people, Democrats and Republicans. What would we do without them? So basically what they're doing is they're demonizing people who went into the Capitol, or some of them were just on the premises, didn't even go in the building. Well, apparently this woman, and she's 69 years old, she's from Idaho, and she flew to Washington, D.C. She unfortunately has cancer, but that's not stopping these people, I guess I'll use that term, these people from putting her into prison. So, an Idaho woman, 69, battling cancer, reports to prison this week for trespassing at Capitol on January 6th. 69 years old, has cancer, she goes to jail. Yeah, but, if you're rioting in Portland, you're not going to jail, Joe. You take you walk a foot into the rotunda of the Capitol after the Capitol Police open the doors for you, and yeah, you're gonna go to jail whether you're 69, whether you're 59, whether you're 49, and whether you have cancer or not, you're gonna go to jail. So that's the clown show that we have going on. That we have going on. If you think it's a clown show now, wait till the truth about these globalists really starts coming out. Wait till things get really hairy and the investigations that are going on and the things that they don't want, the usual suspects, don't want you to find out about start being leaked out, right? So it's happening now, to a certain degree with, Hunter Biden's laptop and, I guess somebody hacked into his iCloud, Joe. Somebody hacked into his iCloud and now the boards, 4chans they're all over the place with comments and pictures and videos and some nasty stuff on that nasty guy's account there. He was doing some nasty things with nasty people, and unfortunately it's turning out to be with some young people, way too young people. But those are the kind of things that come out. Those are the kind of things that get hidden. Now, once the truth starts really rolling out, then we're going to see some serious backlash. Maybe we'll see some power outages. Maybe we'll see some internet, outages. Who knows what we're going to see, but we're going to have some interesting times between now and November. And we're going to have a midterm variant, too, by the way. They're ramping up. I think Bill Gates said there's one of 11 different pandemics that they can whip out at us at any time. Bill Gates, no, he's not a doctor. Bill Gates, the environment. No, Bill Gates. Whatever he is, besides a eugenicist who wants to control the population, and he doesn't start with himself and his friends. He's going to start with you and me, Joe. He's got to control the population, starting with everybody watching, me and Joe, and our families. So he's got to change the way this world is, because apparently there's too many of us. Yeah. So, those are the things that are going on in the news, ladies and gentlemen. Call in. Give us a call. We're going to have a shorter show tonight, so we're only going to go to 6. We had some technical difficulties. And what we're going to do is we're just going to shorten it up a little bit. But what we like is a little bit of interaction. Anybody got some comments over there? Any no comments yet on the Facebook thing there? Okay. Well, then the Otter's just going to keep on rolling. So we'll keep on rolling. We'll keep on going. Joe, you got any more questions for me?
I sure do. I do, and going back to this parallel economy that we're talking about.
Sure.
How can we be certain or that the economy, that this new parallel economy is going to be successful?
Okay. In my opinion, again, this is my opinion. I don't have a crystal ball and nothing of that sort. So, in my opinion, it's going to work because we already have the platform one. So Bitcoin is just one piece of that. The blockchain is definitely going to help us. Now, the reason why I believe it's going to work is because it's already working. Okay? So, again, I've covered this before, but the biggest movers and shakers in the crypto world are the unbanked masses. Okay? The people in places that don't have the luxury of a bank account. They don't have it. It's something that so many billions of people in the world don't have a bank account. So what do, Joe? They launch their own bank. And how do you do that? It's as easy as getting a Bitcoin wallet. Now you're the bank. Bada bing, bada boom, right? As the Italians say. So you're the bank. You do with that whatever you want to do with it, especially when we talk about, DeFi. And we're into the places where, Celsius and other DeFi companies are on the rocks. But I think there's some regulation coming our way. Not that regulation is necessarily a good thing, but it's not always a bad thing either. It sometimes, if it's done constructively, you can level the playing field, and people can be assured that, hey, the risks I'm taking with my assets, and in this case, crypto, the risks I'm taking are weighed against the reward that I'm going to receive. Now, when you give up your keys, you give up your crypto, now you're in deeper water than you probably should be in. Yeah. So it's just like I've always said, you don't use the mortgage payment to buy crypto. You don't use the rent money to buy crypto. You don't use what you're going to pay your electric bill to buy crypto, okay? You figure out a way where you can stash away some money, and you don't need it for the vital things of life, and then you buy your crypto, and you'll be taking care of it quite closely because, well, it costs you time. If you're like me and you need to, punch into a job and spend your time there, then you're going to get paid in a currency, and you're going to want to get something out of it. So when you invest in crypto, it's going to cost you something because this is time that you've put into it. Now, when we talk about DeFi, we can actually get a return on our crypto when we talk about what's called machine-fi, where you have your crypto staked on the platform, of the individual cryptos that have what is called proof of stake, meaning I'll use Theta, my favorite, right? I stake Theta, and what do I get in return? I get T-Fuel. It's the economic token of their economy, the Theta economy, right? The environment, if you will. So it is a return on my investment. Now, I believe that we will come into a time when we will have crypto laptops, which they sell at Calyx Solutions. If you want to look that up or check it out, you can go to the bitcoinotter.com website and scroll down to the bottom and look at the link there for Calyx Solutions. It's a company that Bitcoin Ben and a man named Patrick put together, and they will sell you and guide you on how to use the laptops for only cryptocurrency. So it's a really good thing, and it'll keep you safer while you're dealing with your crypto. So let's say you have one of those. In the future, I believe that you're going to have different cryptos, and you're going to stake them at different levels, and they will be paying you back. So when you're asleep, your laptop is on, making you money. Your money is making you money, right? That's what these billionaires do. That's what the millionaires do. Why can't we? Why can't we, average people, have our money make money for us? Well, traditionally, it's because there are gatekeepers out there that will keep us out of that kind of lucrative thing, right? The entrepreneur mindset, okay? Many of us have it. Not all of us, but I'll wager that once this banking thing goes south, a lot of us are going to say, you know what, I'm going to take responsibility over my finances. I don't need a bank to do that, right? Especially if we're in this parallel economy where we're using cryptos. We're using a different form of money, a different type of asset to buy our goods and services, to save for the future, and to invest for the future in a way that will bring us forward instead of going forward 2 steps and back 1, the way this current system confiscates at every level our money, right? So here's the thing. You earn your money and it's taxed. Income tax, right? You save your money and it's taxed. How? How is it taxed when you save it? Okay. Inflation is a hidden tax. I think the numbers came out yesterday, Joe. 9.1% inflation. And this is how the magicians rate it. 9.1. So you know it's probably double that, right? Probably double. So since I don't know, about a year ago, when somebody got into the house that is white, when somebody got in there, things started going downhill quick. So in about a year, we can see prices in some things, and we'll just use gasoline as an example, double or more than double. Okay, that to me is more than 9.1%, right? So these things are taxes on our dollars that we earn for our work, right? Our time spent at work. So you've got your income tax. Sometimes, not here in Texas, but sometimes if you live in a state that will, be tyrannical in nature, like New York and California, they will take your money too. They'll confiscate it in the form of a state income tax, okay? Then you have sales tax, right, on goods and services, okay? Then you have taxes that are in your gas. They're plugged into your gasoline prices, all right? So taxes are everywhere, right? Now, when we deal with cryptos, there is a small tax in the form of a transaction fee. So when you bring your crypto to an exchange or you swap on a swap site or whatever you do that moves your crypto from one place to another, there necessarily is it's sort of like a toll. If you're on a toll road, the toll pays for the network fees, so that the miners have some skin in the game. They are able to make some money off of, basically curating all of these transactions that go through their computers that they had to spend money on. So they need to be rewarded in some way. So as these curators of transactions, miners get paid in the native currency that they're on. Like Bitcoin will pay them in Bitcoin, etc. Litecoin and Litecoin, and Ethereum and Ethereum. So that is the extent of the taxes. Once you're done with that transaction fee, the only thing that's going to affect you is the price, the underlying price of the asset, if you're still in the basically straddling the line between fiat currency and cryptocurrency, which to some degree or another everyone's doing at one rate or another right now. Will we ever go completely crypto? I don't think so. Not you know, in the near future. I don't think. Maybe, you know, we're talking 50 years or whatever, a generation or so, maybe. But the fact of the matter is, currency in its nationally denominated form is not going anywhere because each nation needs to have its own currency. So may it change? Yes, it's going to change. Like I do believe they're all going to go digital, meaning they're going to have their own blockchains. But that won't be like Bitcoin because Bitcoin is a decentralized environment. Bitcoin is everywhere that a Bitcoin node, a miner, is. Wherever that computer is, there's the Bitcoin. So unlike the Federal Reserve, where everything is concentrated in one apparatus, one corporation, which the Federal Reserve is definitely private. It's not a publicly traded thing. It's got a private owned group, and you're not one of them, Joe. You are not one of those people. So that is centralization at its worst. So decentralization are the cryptos. Not all are decentralized, okay? There's a lot of corporations out there that tokenize their shares, so they're in cryptos, and really it's like investing in the stock market, right? So you're investing in a corporation using a token, using a cryptocurrency. So that wouldn't also be decentralized. But your best cryptos are decentralized, and your best projects, if they're not decentralized now, are working towards decentralization. So they're releasing their tokens, releasing this crypto in the form of shares, basically, tokenized shares, and they're releasing them for different reasons at a different timetable. So if you're in a good project, it is reaching towards decentralization. So basically what we're seeing now is a time period when we're going to see fiat currencies like the dollar crash. So I'm being told through the news services, right, that the euro has actually dipped below the value of the dollar. Apparently that happened this week. Now, is it still there? I don't know. I didn't really check on it today, but apparently the euro has dipped below the dollar. The dollar is, internationally speaking, strong. So it's always been that way. Well, not always. Let me say since the 70s, it's been that way. Since they created the petrodollar. Basically, everybody had to buy their gasoline, their oil, in dollars, right? So once they set that up using OPEC and various other machinations, they used the petrodollar then to basically make the U.S. dollar the reserve currency of the world, or at least the Western world. So that is waning. That is going away quickly. A lot of it because of these idiotic sanctions they're putting on Russia. They're basically making Russia innovate, and it's helping Russia. Russia is growing. Their financial bona fides are becoming more and more valid because they are being forced into a point at which they have to make a counterpart to the Western central banker system. So the Western central banker system for transactions is called the SWIFT system. So they cut off Russia. Everyday average Russians that just want to buy their food, travel from here to there with their families or whatever. No, they're the enemy, right? So these sanctions are meant for them just as well as it's meant for the so-called oligarchs, right? So those sanctions have now made it so that Russia has innovated and made their own system. Right now they have, a collaboration of nations called the BRICS nations. Right, it's Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. So they are coming together, not so much in opposition to NATO, maybe so, but they're running parallel. Again, here are these parallels. The one world people, the globalists, they don't want parallels. Why? Because they don't want competition, Joe. They don't want competition. They want it to be a one-trick pony, them and only them, right? So what do? They eliminate the competition or they buy them up. Now, they're forcing these Eastern countries like Russia into a place where they are going to innovate. And they have innovated, and they figured out a way to not only get their own system up and running, but to make Europe pay for everything. Because like Donald Trump told Germany when he visited there in 2018, 40% of their energy comes from Russia, and they're going to bring sanctions against Russia. So I think right now the pipeline, it's a natural gas pipeline that's being maintained. There's a maintenance outage. And wow, I don't feel good for the average German. I really don't. The only good thing they have going for them right now is that it's summer and they don't need heat. But wait till the winter months. What is going to happen? Their government, like pretty much every other government in the world, is not looking out for them. The government, the worst things you could ever hear, Joe, is we're with the government and we're here to help. That's the worst thing you could probably hear as an average citizen. So they're not helping one bit. They're not helping regular people, regular folks, one bit. They don't want to help us. They want us gone. They want to reduce the population. I don't know if you remember from last week's show, they blew up the Georgia Guidestones. They blew them up. Somebody blew them up, and then they took them down. What was rule number one, according to these lunatics that created the Georgia Guidestones? Keep the population under 500 million. They got a lot of culling to do. They got a lot of purging of us regular people to get to 500 million from about 8 billion, right? So craziness. Well, we're coming up towards the end of our show here, and my buddy Joe has taught me to do a recap. So let me recap what we've done. We had our intro. We've had a little bit of the news. We spoke about Celsius filing for bankruptcy. Hopefully you don't have anything in there. And if you do, well, unfortunately, it's a learning experience on the negative side. Mr. Macron and his cohorts, his henchmen, failed in having their vaccine passport passed there in France. Texas is probably going to have some energy woes. That was there. And, well, we're jailing a 69-year-old woman because she was there in the Capitol on January 6th. So that was the news. And I spoke a little bit about decentralized finance, spoke a little bit about how a parallel economy is going to be brought up to deal with this crashing fiat environment. And that was basically it. We had a little bit of a short show this week, some technical difficulties. Apparently somebody doesn't want us to go out on YouTube, but I think we made it out anyway, didn't we, Joe?
We did. We made it out after all.
Yeah, we did make it out. So we'll be on YouTube. And this is also a great time, Joe, to prop up and give some props to our crypto meetup next week. We're going to plug it. So our crypto meetup will be Crypto Con Cafe, as it is every month. We're going to have it on the third Thursday, which is the 21st of July, here at the McAllen Creative Incubator. It's on, what's the address here, Joe?
The address at the McAllen Creative Incubator is 601 North Main Street in McAllen, Texas. That's 601 North Main Street in McAllen, Texas. And what you want to do is you want to use the alley entrance to the building. That's the one that stays open. And just park in the back. There's a parking area. And just walk right in. We're going to be on the second floor.
Yes, second floor. We'll be drinking some coffee and talking some crypto. Hope you all can make it. We get the same faces every month, but hopefully we'll be seeing more and different faces. As many people as want to come. We got plenty of room here at the McAllen Creative Incubator, and we'll have plenty of coffee. Don't worry about it. So, as we sign off today, I want to ask that you all be safe. Watch out for you and your family. We'll be saying prayers for our nation, as we always do and we always should, because I'll tell you what, we need all the help we can get. That said, we also have some good times coming up in the future, okay? We're going to be freer than we've been for a long time, ladies and gents. We just got to go through this dark period. It's going to get a little darker, but we're going to come out at the end of it freer than we have probably ever known in our lifetimes. Thank you for listening. Thanks for being here. We love you. Have a great week. Until next time, the Bitcoin Otter's out. All right, everybody on Facebook Live, thanks for showing up.
And do the record until you have the map in your possession.
Let's go! This is the Bitcoin Otter Radio Show.
Oh my God, I love you so much!
On 97.7 FM, The City.
WCYP-LP 97.7 FM, Mission McAllen.
Well, Joanna, she runs the country. She runs in Durban and Johannesburg. She makes a few of her people happy. Oh, she don't care about the rest at all. She's got a system they call corruption. It keeps her brother in a subjection. But maybe pressure will make Joanna see how everybody could have lived as one. Give me hope, Joanna. Hope, Joanna. Give me hope, Joanna. For the morning come. Give me hope, Joanna. Hope, Joanna. Hope before the morning come. I hear she makes all the golden money to buy new weapons and the nuclear, while every mother in a black Soweto feels the killing of another son.
Sneaking across all the neighbors' borders. Now and again, having a little fun. She doesn't care if the fun and games she plays is dangerous to everyone.
Give me hope, Joanna. Give me hope, Joanna. Give me hope, Joanna. For the morning come. Give me hope, Joanna. Give me hope, Joanna. Hope before the morning come. She's got supporters in higher places who turn their heads to the city sun. Joanna, give them the fancy money. Oh,